Alrighty, folks. Hello and welcome back to another official TSL show live review. And today we are going to talk
Alrighty,
about
folks. Hello and welcome back to another official TSL.
Today we are going to be talking about not season. We're going to be talking about episode 7 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta review. And tonight we're doing doing things a little bit differently. I apologize for how today is going to be set up, simply because me and my co-host are busy, but in particularly today, I had work stuff outside of what I'm actually outside of this, because I'm vacationing this week. So I couldn't properly get my videos and stuff together that I normally get for you guys. But yeah, so after watching the episode, it's clear to see how the direction of this show was going. I have a few issues with a few of the stuff that's been going on. So let's get into it. This episode, we had Kenya and Marlo. We had Drew and Sanya twice, folks. I'm so sick of this, and I'm going to be speaking on this when we get to them. We had Marlo trying to villainize Kandi and Kenya this season. We have We have Sheree and Kenya Sheree and Kenya talking, and in particularly we have Sheree having a conversation with her therapist on her man. So these are the things that we have going on tonight's episode that we're going to be touching bases on. I will play the. I don't know if I'm going to play the audio due to copyright and stuff. I don't even know how this will work out. So I might not even play audio. So let's just jump right into it. So basically, if you guys watched the last live, at the end of the episode 6, they were still leaving off at Sanya's party, and Drew happens to come in, which leads us to round 1 of Drew and Sanya. And me personally, I just feel like they need each other at this point. I just feel like at this point that they're just I just feel like at this point they're just they're beefing with each other for storyline. I feel like Drew is no longer going to use her and her husband's situation from last year as a storyline, so she's going to constantly piggyback off of Sanya. She's going to gaslight Sanya, and personally, because Sanya's a newbie, Sanya's going to have to get into it with somebody. So she's getting into it with Drew. I just personally think that at this point now, this has been going on for about 3 episodes now. So if they're not coming to no resolution, I don't want to hear nothing about this again. You guys weren't really friends. You guys were building a friendship. So the whole reasoning of why we're being so catty and going so hard at each other over something that really is it's really lackluster at this point. These guys ain't put in ain't have no years in with each other. What I'm trying to say, they didn't put in Cynthia and her girl she's off and on, but they didn't have years in Kandi and oatmeal cream pie face. Even with Cynthia and Kenya, they had years in with each other. These two girls in particularly didn't put in any time with each other for them to be really going in on each other the way that they're going in on each other. And it's kind of just come on now. At this point, we gotta find something else to do. Every time we have an event, nobody wants to do this. Now I can say that I will give Drew her props, because Drew is definitely Drew has definitely picked up some tips. I don't know who she's getting these tips from, I'm just going to technically assume that it's probably Portia. But Drew was definitely getting some tips because she is definitely is like a mastermind in the situation with her and Sanya. Like she's getting underneath Sanya's skin. Like she's pushing all of Sanya's buttons. Like she's doing a lot. But more in particularly, I'll probably just play the audio because I do have the clips. I just don't have time to upload them and all the other stuff that comes with it. So let's just play the audio and you guys will be able to hear it.
I do want to talk to you. I've been trying to talk to you for a little while. Wait a minute, I'm confused. When you were getting your makeup done, right? By our test, for free. And we were talking. I was not being shady. Drew is shady. Artez did your makeup. When I went to Drew's room, she had a makeup artist in town, and so he just touched up my makeup for me. You always are so involved. First of all, the makeup wasn't free. King Artez told me $25. Did you pay him? Did you send me the contact? Did you pay him? We haven't talked since New York. You're trying to make it seem like I run out on my bills, and I do not play those games. Okay, so I'm gonna give her double for her trouble because I don't want to owe her. $25. You want to say you gave me something for free? Hold on, time out. Come on. The point you're a little turned up. We could have had a conversation. No, but you're pissing me off because that's what you always do. Sanya, I'm trying to say, Drew, don't talk. They're talking about so intimate. We don't know anything. You read and communicate how you feel. No, seriously, how I really felt about that. These things are important to me when I'm building a friendship. You talking about your business and it's not adding up. You're not being honest. You can't call me and ask me as a friend. You felt it necessary to do that in front of the group. And then on top of that, to invite me to your shoot and then to uninvite me, that was hurtful. So I'm like, you took that knife and then you turned it. Here's what I have to say about that, Drew. I'm very sensitive about like how I communicated with you. I didn't want to hurt your feelings. You were doing so many. Drew, I hate when you do your face like that. I'm sorry. I can't help how my eyebrows move and my eyes. Give her the same respect. You're making faces and you're doing all this that you know is going to aggravate her. Oh, God, the mama wants to be her ass. Oh, God. Drew, you know you're up when you got somebody, mama, ready to flip a table. Shut up sometimes. You talk too much. I'm talking to have a conversation. No, you're not. I'm not going to do. I'm not going to do is act like everything you don't want to say. I feel like you're clout chasing. I'm a clout chaser for you. For me, because you didn't want me at the school. I don't have enough followers. I'm clout chasing. I'm not for nobody. What about clout chasing? I'm a four-time Olympic gold medalist. Do not do that. Ooh, that's my kind of read, child. That's my kind of read. Girl, you better boss up on them. Boom. I drop. Bitch. Hey, cheers. Our friends don't always see eye to eye, Sanya. That is relationship. We're all different. As friends, I feel like we could have resolved that just between she and I. And now you bring it in front of the group and you're discussing it. So, like, friends don't do that. Like, that's a little funny style.
So I have to say, Sanya with that I'm an Olympic for gold medalist read was cute. It definitely was cute, but I just feel like at this point it's just tit for tat. I don't like that. I just feel like at this point, you guys are both grown women. If you guys aren't going to hash this stuff out, then I just feel like they should just let it go. And at this point, that's what they need to do. They just need to let it go because they're basically wasting our time plus everybody else's time, because who wants to sit back and keep listening to these two girls argue and get nowhere? Like, we're getting nowhere here. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Drew was right. Even if we weren't friends, if we're building a rapport, pull me to the side and have a conversation with me instead of doing this in front of the group. But also, on the other hand, Drew, you can't expect her to pull you to the side and have a conversation with you, and you do the same thing that you are chastising her for doing to you. It doesn't really work out that way.
I got 2400 on this, so
Can you stop making that noise?
Yeah, what's good?
No, I'm like on a.
So, yeah, that was about the gist of that scene. And then the next scene that popped up was, I want to say, the next scene had to be Sheree talking to her therapist about her man. Well, about her and Tyrone and about her business as well. And personally, once again, I don't necessarily like talking to a therapist about a guy, but the therapist does drop some gems. He said something in particular that I think he might have said wrong. But
I feel like I know what you're talking about.
I'll play the audio so we'll hear it. But I feel like he said like something that was a little like weird itch.
Her dress popping though.
Yeah, the dress is cute. So let me go ahead and get the thing together.
I remember. Okay. Well, tell me what.
Why is that expensive to you?
Since you've been better. Tyrone has been released. Your boyfriend? You have a boyfriend? People say that? You have a boyfriend. He's in prison. And get to Philly. We're meeting in a restaurant. I get to the restaurant. I'm sitting. He's not responding to texts. He's not responding to calls. So pretty much he kind of just left me sitting there with no explanation, no nothing. He's in prison. And a woman like you. What do you think they say? I don't know what they say. He's in prison. Mm-hmm. No women around. She's a fantasy. So when he had nothing else to focus on, and it's just me in a box by myself, and I've got this dime piece on the outside, I'm dreaming about that, fantasizing about that. I'm jacking off to that every night. Now that I get out, I see you. The fantasy has become real. I see her on television all the time. I'm going to be on television with her to keep the fantasy going. Does that make sense? Yeah. I'm hearing you. Tell me how that makes you feel. Maybe a little stupid. Maybe a little naive. Naive how? That he loved me, that he, cared about me, that he was going to be this different person when he came home, and we were going to have this fun, good life. What do you do about that? Because it sounds like a repeating pattern. Now, I fled. You done with Tyrone? Oh, that's a deep breath. Ooh, very deep breath. I can't say for certain that I'll never talk to him again. So here's what I would recommend. Back off just a little bit of pouring into other people. Like, what's one thing that you can do that you actually enjoy for yourself, not for anybody else? My business. She by Sheree.
Hey,
Marlo.
before we get on the She by Sheree, let's just talk about this thing with her and her therapist, because I felt like her therapist was dropping gems all the way up until he got to that.
That he want to be famous part or like on TV.
Yeah.
I That's where I was like, I mean, if he wanted to be on TV, then he had the invitation to do so, and he didn't. So
Yeah, like
yeah,
I like he. Don't get me wrong, he did drop gems. Like that whole
yeah,
like
yes,
especially like men who are in jail for like a long time. Like
yeah,
like and well, mainly those who like make their way into like the halfway house. They get a little bit more of a comeuppance than the rest
hmm
of the people do. So it's easier for him to juggle 4 to 5, 6 different females when
yeah.
they can't really like come see you.
They can't come see you, so yeah, there's no responsibility really. It's just a bunch of. Are you kidding me?
Selena cam.
Oh my god, bro. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, my thing cut off. But yeah, like they don't gotta have the responsibility of having to meet up with them because they always got the excuse like, "Yo, I'm in a halfway house."
yeah. Like they have set times and certain stuff to do things. So I do feel like
Motion detected at the Selena cam.
I feel like that was fine for like I feel like that was fine for him. Like
Yeah,
I feel like he led Sheree on and he was giving Sheree more than he was gonna actually put into her. And
yeah, I think so too.
I not gonna really say that Sheree ain't no like Sheree really ain't no city girl. Like
She's not no city girl sitting up for no broke man in jail that can't do nothing for her.
yeah, Sheree not like no city girl. Sheree is really like Sheree really wants to love. I don't know what it is or what it's about, but like she really wants to love. So I feel like she's just allowing like any man that she talks to like. I feel like if he said anything that is going to get her hopes and dreams high and get her cat wetter than Niagara Falls, that she's just going to like.
Yeah, she's gonna jump at it because she's so desperate for it.
Yeah, at this point, and it's like, girl, listen, all your kids is grown. Your kids ain't in your house. Like, no, I'm sorry, I'll be buck wild.
Right.
Like not on no funny stuff, but like, girl,
You got money because
well,
you got a house, so you gotta have.
who knows?
She
Who knows at this point where her coin is coming from? Because I'm slowly confused on where it's coming from.
got something. She got something.
Child, must be that divorce money from Bob.
Because I'm telling you, paying them bills is rough for no big house. And upkeep. Like, her house is kept well.
It is kept well. I will give her that. She does have a beautiful home.
Yeah.
Well, like, I feel like she needs to stop putting all her eggs in one basket and maybe just have like
Yeah.
maybe give a spoiled egg.
Yeah. But for real, I keep saying this, but I really don't take that Tyrone thing serious. I think it's just a storyline.
Most likely it is, and this is like one thing because I have it in our description, but I feel like Sheree is clicking down. Like I'm like me personally, I'm gonna say this and I'm probably gonna stand on it for the rest of the time that she's on it. But I feel like when the reunion comes and it ends and they start doing the stuff for next season, I don't think that she's gonna be asked back.
Man, this happens every it's like she comes on and then they fire her for the next one.
Yeah, because her like it's like not it's not really mean to say, but she's predictable at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like the last time we seen you, girl, was 4 years ago, and then when you come back on the show, where we left off 4 years ago.
Same stuff on the same shit. Like why are you bringing up Tyrone? Why is there She by Sheree? Like we wanted to see growth, and there's no growth. Portia come back, she gonna be married to a rich Nigerian. You know what I'm saying?
Girl. girl who uses the Facetune app.
See how I look like Princess in the Frog.
Yeah, but like every time she comes back to the show, it's no elevation.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing that I will say that might keep her is her beefing with Drew.
Yeah.
Because we'll speak on it a little bit afterwards when it gets to. I'm gonna say that's maybe the next clip. It is the next clip, so we'll actually just talk about it now. We ain't even gonna talk about She by Sheree and it being discontinued and stuck on the top shelf collecting cobwebs. There's just
There's nothing to really talk about because there is no She by Sheree. Like, I don't know. If you were serious about your business, given the platform you have, I feel like it would have been a thing. You're not serious, so it makes me feel like every time you're on the show, that's what you're talking about because you need something to talk about.
Yeah, because let's be honest here. Kyle had about 6 stores that opened and failed.
Exactly.
Candy's a perfect. Well, I mean, Candy came with money, but Candy's a perfect example of how she uses the show because
She did. She booked it, especially for the restaurant.
Yeah, like even enough for her to get her own spinoff. Like, I mean, another spinoff under her belt, but she got a spinoff on her whole her whole restaurant. Like, who else?
And that's the thing. She by Sheree could have possibly have been a spinoff because it created so much buzz. You know what I'm saying? But Sheree don't got that. Some people don't have that business savvy mindset, and it's okay. You know, it's okay. But
and even if she doesn't, because she did touch on this when we during the video, like even if she didn't, like, girl, stop being cheap.
Yeah.
Just pay the money, build you a nice marketing team, all of that stuff.
Right.
You're expecting to get it back because people are going to pay just based off of who she is and it becoming
My baby agrees. You hear her?
Yeah, I hear sis. Right. Like, there's multiple ways she could have got to the bag off this show.
She could have, but that's like I said, it all comes down to whether you got that in you or not. Because clearly she don't got it in her.
She don't.
And she don't want it because when the guy asked her about like what else fuels you, because I'm a procrastinator myself. It took me a while to really do stuff that I want to do. So when people are kind of like holding you accountable and like asking you like, yo, what are you doing? For me, I come up with any bullshit that I can. And she's a Capricorn just like me, so I know. I seen it right away. I'm like, yep, she's bullshit. She just threw that out there because it sounded good.
Yeah. But it's like, girl. Right,
baby.
Let's spend the money. Get you a bomb team.
Get you a little warehouse. Do your shipping online. No storefront. You don't need a storefront. Storefront costs too much money.
At this point, they really doing. Everybody shops offline. Shopping online is the new wave.
That's the wave. But she knows that. She's just lazy.
Yeah.
Can't try to put in that work.
But being that we're still on the topic of her, let's just play the next audio, which was her and Kenya talking about the whole aftermath of her getting into it with Marlo at Sanya's cooking event.
Said by Marlo about me, like I was faking, like I really wasn't sick. Like, what is wrong with her? Marlo tried to accuse me of lying about being sick because I look better sick than her on her best day. Marlo gotta get all kind of wigs glued to her head to look half as good as I do, just waking up and falling out of bed. I don't want to feel like Marlo is a double agent. So one minute she's in my face smiling and laughing, and the next minute you're like, oh, you didn't really do anything. What you sent some flowers, some old eggs, cheap eggs. No, ma'am. This is what she sent me here with. You didn't do anything. She came over to the house to get the stuff that I had already prepared to take to your house. Are we making cupcakes? Yes. They're gonna drop it like it's always you, the 21-day program. I never want you to think that I don't care. I'm a very loyal friend.
Well, thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, because it was definitely a different story than,
I don't like that.
Marlo's my girl. I mean, we know she acts out, but I believe Kenya that she was it. I feel like she really cared and she was really concerned about me and our friendship, and you got to respect that.
Marlo is working overtime to make people think I'm a liar. I'm not experienced. Trying to turn on me. She's already on probation with our friendship. We just started back being friends.
So I really don't know what to say about like Sheree and Sheree's mindset. Like I don't want to say it's a character flaw, but I feel like Sheree is very sometimey. Like,
I don't know. I kind of feel like she kind of goes where the wind blows sometimes, but I don't know.
Like I think she's just like really sometimey because even like even Kenya has said, but the reason why I have the thing titled as Sheree is clicking down is because like when this reunion comes, everybody's watching this and they're seeing the stuff that's going on. Sheree's gonna act like how she did at season 10. She's gonna rumble over her words. She's not gonna be able to hold a sentence up. Like she's not gonna do a lot because a lot like I don't know. I don't know if it's because she's been gone for so long that she's like out of the loop of how this stuff works. But
I feel like with her, because her position is kind of so wishy-washy and it's always up in the air, like her spot on the show and her job is always just so in limbo. She kind of doesn't know where to be and what to do, and she's like in a moment where it's kind of like, I don't know if clout chases is the best word, but like
she's like a chicken running with her head cut off.
Yeah, she'll be in whatever drama it is that, you know, is there at the moment because she wants to keep her position.
And like, I don't think that she's like fully like. I don't think like she's fully like trying to hear things out because just like how Kenya had told her the whole scoop and she was like, you know, like she believes her now that she's heard it. It's like, girl, when she was saying it that night before, like, what was the difference?
Right.
What was the difference from her saying it the night before when she said
and that's what I'm saying. It's like she's jumping on whatever drama there is to jump on because that night was very uncalled for. Like, given they was calling her hoes and like, what the hell? And now she telling you the same thing and you're not like, you're not on that same type time because Marlo not there. You know what I'm saying? Now you like, okay, it's okay. Well, you should have said it's okay and told Marlo, like, let's not go there, you know?
Or not even that. The simple fact that the gesture was given should have been enough. Now, if she would have rescheduled it, that would have been fine. But the simple fact that like you didn't fully, like you weren't fully aware of anything, you just decided that you just wanted to run off what Marlo was saying is like stupid.
Right.
Which is basically the same thing she did with on season 10 when Kim was trying to say that Kandi tried to eat her box. And then she was like, she thought she would eat from somebody too. but like you want loyalty. But just like how I was talking about it, and I was saying that when the show, like when the reunion comes on, like I don't think that she's like it's not going to be too much outside of her beefing with Drew. But when it comes to the rest of the girl, she's not going to really be able to stand on two legs because Kenya said on Watch What Happens Live, she was like that. She's like when she watched that clip back about Marlo talking about her and Kandi, she said that she had immediately called Sheree afterwards and had said something to Sheree like, she's like we're me and you are friends. She's like you're sitting back like agreeing to what Marlo was saying, like trying to say that I'm a whore and yada yada yada, talking about old facts, and all the things of the things of the things. And she basically was like, Sheree was like, I don't remember that. I don't remember like agreeing to that. If I would remember to agree to that, I would own it.
Right.
It's like, come on now, dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Is this what we about to be doing the whole entire? If this is what she's about to be given the whole entire time outside of Drew, they can just ship her off because we have a good enough amount of drama just between Sanya and Drew as it is. Like,
I don't even like Sanya and Drew's drama.
I don't either, but like at this point, it's more entertaining than what Sheree's given us.
Yeah.
Like,
So what is Sheree giving us though?
Hey, so special.
I've been here for a while, just listening. So what is Sheree giving us though? Like, what is Sheree doing?
She's like
outside of her character.
She's backpedaling.
With who?
She's backpedaling with Kenya. She's backpedaling with Kandi. Like she's doing a lot. So basically, when they were on episode 6, Marlo had went on this rant about Kandi and Kenya, and Sheree was just sitting back eating it up, and like she was like agreeing with it like real heavy. But basically, because her and Kenya had a talk, and Kenya had told her like she was really sick, like basically like her doctors told her she like had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Like she had COVID symptoms, so they told her that she needed to get a PCR test. She couldn't go to the event. She couldn't go to the singles night that they were. The singles event that they were doing at Marlo's house. But she sent Drew over there with all this stuff. It wasn't like she just like
didn't attend. Like she.
Yeah, it wasn't like all the stuff that she promised to do. She basically did. She just wasn't presently there. And basically how Sheree brought it up to her was, Kenya said she's not going to be able to make it, talking about like she's sick or something, but she's FaceTiming me in full glam. Mm-hmm. And they ended up having a conversation about it in front of Sheree. And then they went outside, and then Sheree was, Marlo was bad mouthing Sheree and was bad mouthing Kenya and Kandi, and Sheree was just sitting there agreeing. But when she sat back and she talked to Kenya, she was like, oh, like she understands now because she got the full story from Kenya and not just what she got based off from Marlo. But then when Kenya seen what was said and Kenya called her and talked about it, Sheree basically like backtracked and was like, she don't remember saying that. Like, if she was like that. If she remembered saying that, then she would own it. But she truly and honestly didn't remember saying that. And it's like, girl, yes, like you remember co-signing. And if you don't remember co-signing, girl, I'm quite sure you watched the episode. Bitch, you remember co-signing.
Who co-signed?
Sure.
I don't know. This stuff is popping up on my computer.
So I really don't see it for her anymore. I was a little bit excited when Auntie Strong Neck and Veins was coming back, but I ain't really.
Not Auntie Strong Neck.
Yeah, I ain't really looking forward to seeing her anymore. I'm like, I could care less at this point. she can fizzle off in the back. I would have gladly just would have loved to have Cynthia back over top of her.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the next one? The next part we have is Marlo and Kenya. All right, so I'm just go ahead and play the audio.
And I want to give them to Glamour. We just like, hey, I'm just sitting here going through some clothes, and I want to give them to Glamour. And I'm like, I don't know damn hand-me-downs for my damn girls at foster care. Marlo, you are too much. I grew up on hand-me-downs. When I grew up in those homes, we had a garbage bag full of clothes, used toys, and I'm not doing that to my Glamour girls. The message is wrong to put words in clothes. I got picked on every day, Kenya, because of my Goodwill clothes. Who didn't get picked on? Who didn't get picked on in school? Don't vilify somebody because the giving part of what they're doing is not good enough for you. The same thing that you did.
But basically, before we go on to the rest of Marlo and Kenya, but what Marlo was talking about was Marlo was saying that Kandi was trying to help out with her event, with Marlo's event, and Marlo basically was like that she was doing the drive for the nonprofit that she does, which is helping girls in foster care, and basically Kandi was like that she was giving her clothes that were only worn one time.
Mm-hmm.
But she was like, Marlo didn't accept it. Like, Marlo didn't want to accept it. And then basically what she led to her talking about it before Kenya had chimed in and took up for Kandi. And I just want to say, I'll let the rest of the stuff play before I give like the full thing because it's on the play Kandi.
Sorry, what you doing?
Message is wrong to put words in the message. And I'm not doing that to my Glamour girls. The message is wrong to put words in clothes. I got picked on every day, Kenya, because of my Goodwill clothes. Who didn't get picked on? Who didn't get picked on in school? Don't vilify somebody because the giving part of what they're doing is not good enough for you. The same thing that you did with Sheree in the party, and you turned that around on me some kind of way. But when I was wearing being there, that's not being a friend to accuse me of lying about being sick because I had makeup on my face. I just feel sometimes you need to show up and show out. It's no, but you need to look at stuff because vilifying me and trying to turn people against me. That's not being a friend. I'm a country Southern girl. No, what you are is someone who pretends to be somebody's friend and you're not. You can't tell me that you want to be my friend because I don't care. No, that means you talk shit about me behind my back. You just said you were sick today. It's not landing. Did you eat Mexican? No, it's landing. It's very off. No, that wig is very off. Yes, because I'm trying to be here. It's a mess. It is a goddamn mess. I don't know what the hell's wrong with Kenny. You have a head full of hair. You promote your hair care, and you coming in with this damn wig look like you're selling Mary Kay. Hello, don't try to be my friend and talk shit about me. I did in front of her. My friend talking behind you just back. You shouldn't talk behind your back. Me and Kiki in an argument right now. Like how she texted us and said she wasn't feeling well. I got off that text like, you okay? You're good. No matter what, I'm going to make sure she's a single mom. Her Brookmobile.
So, I don't get her. I don't get Marlo.
Marlo on some hater stuff.
Yeah, Marlo just trying to hold on to that peach. I feel like she's trying to be the new Mimi, and
yes,
it's not working for her. It's actually working against her. because I always loved Marlo every time she came on the show. But since she got this peach, I don't know.
Yeah, she acting real new. Like, girl, what you mean you don't want them clothes? Like, it's
first
not.
off,
You
go
could,
ahead.
even if you didn't want it, the polite thing to do would have to would just take it and probably not use it. But if somebody's offering something to you and being kind, like just out of courtesy, common courtesy, you take it. What you do with it is up to you.
But let's be very clear here. The clothes were only worn once.
Right.
One time. Like we all know how this go. A lot of these girls have a lot of money, so they barely wear their outfits more than once. A lot of the stuff the girls get surgery, the girls gain weight, the girls have kids, they get the mommy weight, the girls start getting, especially Atlanta in general, the girls start getting thick. Like a lot of factors get into play here. So the fact that it was worn once and you want somebody to go out their way and to buy brand new clothes is crazy.
Mhm.
Like, girl, you're running a nonprofit. You're not running a fashion show. Like, just like you were saying, take as much help as you can get.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Like my grandma always said, beggars are not choosers.
Exactly.
And then how are you being mad or how are you upset about somebody giving out quote unquote hand-me-downs when your whole business that you run is based off giving your used clothes to other people?
Exactly.
And selling it at a very high price.
Exactly. And getting them back. And then return doing it again. Like, she makes no sense. She's a big hypocrite. And I'm really pissed off at Marlo right now. Because y'all know I was team Marlo. She lost me.
Yeah, it seems like any chance she can poke at, and that's why I agree with you. Like she's trying to hold on to that peach because she knows having some type of beef with Kandi is going to be a thing for her because you ain't had to do nothing with that. It seems like if Kandi breathes, she's gonna poke at Kandi for breathing. Like at this point,
Mm-hmm. And she got, first of all, she can't comfort Kandi.
Exactly.
Kandi is made, like self-made. You can't comfort Kandi. You literally laid on your back with your legs spread open to come up with the money that you had.
Mm-hmm.
That you claim happened one time that you kept the money for that could get a townhouse and everything.
That coochie must have been real good, bitch, because there's no way.
And even with that, like, it's kind of like almost biting the hand that feeds you.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna keep saying it ever since Kandi said it. Like, girl, this lady has been helping you out. First of all, you've been knew her before this show. So the fact that you got on this show and was trying to stunt on her, it's giving delusional out of your mind. Like, it's just giving you looking for a comeuppance.
Especially with somebody that actually tried to help you, like get your own show. I don't know. I feel like you deserve a little bit more respect coming from you. But that's just
yes. And then I was about to say, girl, she basically went to bat for you to have your own show, and they greenlit your show, and you chose to not be on the show because you wanted to be a friend of Lydia's.
Yeah, she wanted that peach, and now she got that peach, and she thinks she's making it juicy, and she's not.
No,
she's losing her.
Yeah, it's just really confusing. It's like, why are you beefing with
Kandi? You
ain't bothering nobody.
Jellyfish.
And then
you heard
like,
me too. Where's Eva at when you need her? Eva to come back on that bus and go ahead and break her down real quick. Because Marlo on here thinking she's winning. And honestly, I feel like Kenya need to kick up. One of them that know how to read need to kick up on Marlo real quick.
Marlo, she gonna hit the grave when she do start coming back because she don't have no decorum when she argue.
Who, Marlo? Exactly.
Yeah, she don't read. Like, Marlo doesn't read people, I think. I feel like Marlo, she takes it to the gutter.
What Marlo does is says whatever she see in the blogs.
Marlo is that one coworker at your job who is basically just there for everybody's tea.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what she's there for. So then at any type of moment, if you can get into it with somebody, she's gonna try to use that electric.
Yeah, throw it in your face. Like you sit there and you talk to somebody about your problems, and then you think like they're consoling you, but all she's doing is sucking it up, waiting for the chance to throw it back in your face.
Yup.
And she don't have no room to throw anything in anybody's face. She swears she living the best life because she was she a Monty or whatever she called herself.
Uh-huh.
Oh, bye.
And then more importantly, I feel like I cannot believe that I'm actually like standing Kenya. I was not the biggest.
Right. I can't believe it either.
I was never the biggest Kenya fan, but the fact that I am standing her this season is mind-boggling towards me.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I am not a Kenya stan whatsoever. I really dislike Kenya. Like I'm liking this Kenya that doesn't have Portia.
No, I'm not. I love Portia. I wish Portia was back because she could put both.
No. I love me some Portia, but it just seems like I feel like when Kenya got people she think is more popping than her per se, I guess, like in looks and stuff like that, she get a little she feel a little threatened, I think, because I don't see what her reasoning for not liking Portia was.
That all stems from Portia getting her title wrong. But
yeah, but that was a long time.
It can't be. That much dislike for somebody, disdain for somebody, do not come from she calling you Miss America or whatever. Like,
in Portia's defense, at that time, she was still looking for the train conductor for the Underground Railroad.
Exactly. My sis was trying to find who. And that's why I feel like Kenya's little whatever she had with Portia did not come from that, because Portia wasn't too right in the head, so you should already know. You feel me?
Let's not forget Portia did drag her literally.
Yeah,
she was already trying Portia. She was already trying Portia. Like, you can't be trying me and think I'm not gonna drag you. Like, it's gonna happen. You had a whole bullhorn in my
slut from the 90s.
Child, I love Queen of the Dots Portia. When Portia came back and she was thicker than a Snicker, Portia was dragging everybody. She dragged that girl in the alleyway. I still don't know that whole name, but she got dragged. Loved it.
I was ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like I don't want to say that Kenya has like hater vibes, but I feel like because Real Housewives was getting a little bit younger.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
These two, though, the women are old.
There was something about it that because Kenya this season, she's not giving that type of energy. Maybe it's because Mark is keeping her busy, or made her a little softer. But Kenya like when Portia was on there versus Kenya now, or Kenya when Nene and Phaedra was on there versus now, it's not the same Kenya.
But I will say that it is good to see her not being in the villain role.
Yeah,
like it does get to see it because we kind of get to see a little bit more more of her, because don't get me wrong, like Kenya was giving us a lot when she was on there, but it was always overshadowed because she was always shady and she always did something that was messy.
It's hard to be in the villain role when life is kicking your ass.
I mean, it's like it came all back at once and got her.
Yep, it did.
Yeah.
I love me some, unlike you two. I love me some Kenya always did, but like Kenya, I feel like Kenya is going through a lot right now with the Mark situation, because I really feel like he really wanted that marriage and that the two parents household and all that, because that's something that she never had. So this is really hard what she's going through right now, and to deal with these catty ass women at the same time. Shit, we better be glad. I hope they bring Kim back. That'd be great.
Kim who?
Zodiac.
Kim Phil?
Kim.
Nah, keep Kim Zodiac. Keep her. I don't want her.
Exactly.
I want her. I want her.
Thank you. Thank you, Dad Gal.
Keep pimping your daughter out for Travis Scott tickets.
John Legend, girl.
Oh, John Legend tickets. My bad.
If you want to say it right, please.
Oh my god, that was the funniest shit ever. And then Portia, thick Portia, the episode was
Not the
your
Portia.
whole daughter.
yeah. Yo, Portia is TV gold. They need her back. I'm telling you. That girl.
I think she's gonna come back. I think Portia had to take a little break because, she stole somebody's man. I don't think she was trying to catch that heat that was gonna come for her if she had did this season. I really don't think that's what she was like.
Steal that girl man, because she didn't steal that girl man.
I know she ain't.
It's hard to believe she ain't still that girl man when you look at that girl body and look at Portia's body.
But the girl,
that girl body is built like a teenage boy. And
first of all, don't do Fallon because Fallon is a baddie. Let's just get that.
No, in your eyes, I don't think she's a baddie. I think
Fallon is a baddie.
Badly.
Fallon is a baddie with a model-esque body, girl. Please don't.
Child, bye.
Please don't. Just because you sit around walking around with TikTok tights on all day. Don't think
you
can try
who
to
you talking about? I know you ain't trying to serve me on live. I know you ain't coming for me on live. You don't want our family secrets out here. Shut the hell up. Oh my God. Excuse me, y'all. Excuse my cousin. You know not what he said.
But I just think that, well, not because Fallon basically said it.
Mm-hmm.
The girl said it. Basically, last season was so choppy and so over the place. Mm-hmm. A lot of the stuff got mixed up. Mm-hmm. But Fallon basically said it. Fallon said that her and Simon were no longer together when Portia dated him. She was never Portia's friend. She was Kenya's friend. But because, all right, so Fallon was Kenya's friend. Fallon got brought on by Kenya, and then LaToya got brought on by Kandi. But because of how choppy last season was, they put it off as if LaToya and Kenya were real good friends, which basically would have left. It would have been too many friends like coming from Kenya.
Uh-huh.
So they just hurried up and pushed off Fallon on the Portia because Portia had one over there.
Uh-huh.
But back to this. I want Marlo to stop trying to define what one needs friendships have to be, but more importantly, like I hate that we have to keep reiterating this. Building rapport and being friends are two different things. Mm-hmm. Especially when you have a damaged friendship. Having a damaged friendship and being friends, like putting in that time, is two different things. So I don't understand why Marlo is steady expecting all these things of Kenya. Mm-hmm. And like, girl, y'all literally just got back cool last year based off of y'all hate for the same person. Mm-hmm. Like, and here it is yet again. Every time that you guys are getting cool, you are constantly coming at her and throwing her under the bus and basically trying to villainize her, like Kenya was saying.
Mm-hmm. But she did that with Portia too last season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She
probably did it with Nene, and Nene just ain't make it public because remember Nene stopped dealing with her too.
Yeah, season 4. I want to say season 4 about it. Mm-hmm. Like season 4, season 5, she stopped dealing with her, but it was the same thing. Like she constantly does this stuff, and then like she goes around and does the most. Like, oh, now everybody's calling her a whore. And don't nobody say nothing when I got called a whore for umpteenth amount of years. And girl, you basically was a whore for umpteenth amount of years.
You probably still are with that dry ass cat. Get out of here. I'm tired of Marlo. For real, Marlo made me mad when she came for Kandi. Like, first of all, Kandi is a whole mother, a wife. You get what I'm saying? and you know her daughter like is older, so she's on the internet, and you sitting here talking about her mom was giving her coochie out for free. Like, girl, shut up. She would, and it's sad because she doesn't understand because she never had a child, you know?
Yeah.
So it's messed up. She shouldn't do stuff like that. And I can't say Karma is a bitch because she too old to probably have one. walking around looking like Kenya. Old ass.
But and I'm glad Kenya's finally said it, but I hope she does stand on this because like it's like how many times do you have to get a lashing until you understand that somebody is not truly there for you?
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't matter how many times she say, I check up on her because I know she's a single mom and yada yada yada. Like that's all fine and dandy, but no matter how many times you say something like that, it's not going to amount to your like who you truly are and the inside of what you truly give when you give that at that moment.
Actions speak louder than words.
And she's very negative towards her.
Who? We talking about Marlo, right?
Yes, she's very negative towards her in every aspect and every chance she can get to be negative towards her.
Mm-hmm.
So I really, they do get into it a lot this season, but I really do hope that Kenya does not, want to forgive and forget.
Child, Kenya never forgets. Well, she does like to forgive and try to forget, but Portia always remind her, we are not friends, Kenya.
Kenya, please leave me alone.
Oh, we are not friends. That is so funny. I love Portia, man.
But let's get on to the next scene.
Bring Portia back. Bravo, if you're listening. Bring Portia back.
And the next scene is Drew versus Sanya, round 2. I hate Sanya's hair in her photo, in this photo.
Child.
That bob's so thin, I hate it.
Child, moving forward. I'm
about to say, girl, please don't hit on the track body figure.
Oh, I ain't worried about that body. I'm talking about that forehead. But moving forward. It's shiny. That body tight though. I love her dress. She looks beautiful. And Drew. But go ahead.
All right, I'm trying to get it to come out.
Drew came back this season. She wasn't playing. Drew came back with her wigs laid, everything.
Yeah, Drew was given this season.
Yeah, well, she teamed up with Portia, so she probably be getting hair from Go Naked Hair.
Good.
Yeah, because glam, everything is popping.
Yeah, she looks really good.
Yeah, her and Ralph Money is doing wonders for her.
Wait, that's her husband name?
Mm-hmm.
Did nothing else come out about him being allegedly gay?
No.
But all right, I got a thing, so let's just play the audio real quick.
To handle. When Kenya told us, I wasn't sure how to handle it, if I should wait for you to tell me, but now at least I know too. But I felt like when you guys came to my dinner, especially you two, Sheree and Marlo, when you guys were talking about, the Mommy Nation shoot, which I had invited other ladies to, I felt bad that I didn't invite you guys. And so I wanted to make it up to you guys. Yeah, I like makeup. Invited. Well, we still got issues. Oh, okay. This isn't for me. All right. For Marlo and Sheree. So one of my brand partners, Nike, I've worked with for a very long time. I'm actually flying out to do something with them. You invited me to that too. I didn't invite you. You didn't invite me. How can you be friends with someone that just does that? Let me tell you what. No, Drew, this is I'm gonna tell you straight because now I'm really frustrated. Drew, you are driving me crazy. I don't like when you keep over talking me. Seriously, it's very frustrating because I really want to build a genuine friendship with you, Drew. You brought up the whole thing about the not paying your artist. When I tried to say
table. Who was that, Drew?
Drew is whack, bro. She is whack. Drew! The way I'm feeling right now about Drew, I don't even want to get to a better place with her. There's no point. Like, she literally is impossible to talk to. She's so whack with that. And I'm not sure if it's because she's always getting gaslit by Ralph, but she needs to figure out how to communicate in a civil way. Well, look on the bright side, y'all. They're all getting to know each other. Kenya, seriously, I don't know how we were just going to share some food and asking each other how our food is. And then she, no, I'll tell you why. Oh my God. Because I want it, right? I want it. Okay, so help me. You cut her off and you would let her speak and finish the listening well. No. That's when she started fussing. Well, then that's her problem. And that's all I'm going to say. Okay. All right. Feel better? Right, thank you. Thank you. Let me know if you need anything. I do think you guys can get back on track. Now,
Team Drew, Sanya, Drew's right. You shouldn't have been trying to talk to her about something when you could have said it to her privately. And I feel that. It seemed like she was clout chasing.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I hate when people say something like in a group when you talk to them all the time, privately. Like, if you wanted to say that, you could have said that when we were on the phone.
Right.
You could have said that when I was picking you up after you got in that car accident.
Right.
Like,
right. And it's like, you can be using that excuse like, okay, we're not friends like that. But it don't change the fact that you chose to embarrass me and question my character in a group setting.
if I was Drew, I would have told Sanya, suck your mother.
All right, so I'm half and half.
Oh God.
The only reason why I say that I'm half and half is because, like, when they were saying that Drew, like, they be like that. Remember way back when it was the whole Ralph situation was going on, and it was like sometimes it does fall on Drew's part too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see it now. Like, I feel like Drew gaslights Ralph just as much as Ralph gaslights her. Just because of how she does it with Sanya. Like, don't get me wrong, Drew has a valid point about the whole, like, you wait till we're in group settings to do this when you, like, we could have personally done this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, like, now we're going tit for tat because you're doing the same thing that you're trying to get, that you're trying to reprimand me for. Like, your whole big ordeal was this whole, you're, like, trying to embarrass me in a group setting, but you're doing the same thing. Like, we have the thing with the makeup artist, with RT, who was like, oh, when RTs did your makeup for free.
But I would have said that same thing too, because we're still on the situation of her defending herself on, well, girl, you could have did this when my makeup artist is doing your makeup for free.
Yeah, but
I'm
still,
gonna take it there. Well,
but
I'm gonna
still
take
in
it
that
there
same sentiment, just like how Sanya said, you never gave me the information that you were supposed to give me so I can pay him. And then it never happened because now you guys are beefing.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have happened if Sonya would have just went and said something to her in private instead of trying to catch a moment for TV. And that's just 100% like facts. That's all it all boils down to. Regardless of the situation, Sonya, you shouldn't have been clout chasing. Cause now we where we at, and what she was doing in that moment wasn't even given. Like, so you could have really went without that. Cause now y'all beefing over dumb shit.
Like, I fully get where Drew's coming from, but I also get where Sing is coming from either. Like, don't get me, like, Drew is a really great actress because that whole scene, Drew is acting her ass off.
I don't know. I'm not getting where Sonya's coming from. I get that they're not as close friends, whatever. Cool,
No,
but
I'm talking about as far as like, all right, if you want to hash something out, then let's hash something out. But let's do this like as adults now. Like minus everything that has going on now. You feel some type of way, I feel some type of way, and we're about to hash stuff out. Let's hash stuff out, but let's have a cohesive conversation here. Like we're like, I'm not the type of person where we're about to sit back and have a conversation and you're about to keep talking over top of me and gaslight me because I'm not going to give you what what you want.
But how is she gaslighting her though? Like,
because it's like she's trying to talk to her, but she's steady cutting her off. So now, because you don't really know her, and because you're steady doing the stuff, like it's becoming a lot. So now you're getting the reaction that you want to get the reaction from, and she's taking it jokingly, and Sanya's becoming very serious about the situation.
I'm gonna take it jokingly because you was on some dumb shit. Like, the whole purpose of us arguing is about something that don't got nothing to do with you in the first place. And that's like, for me, I would see it as a joke because in my head, I'm looking at
Can't hear you.
You said you can't hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Oh, okay. So I was saying, like, I would laugh about it too because I would look at it from like a show perspective. Like, you're arguing about something that had nothing to do with you, Miss Sanya Richards. We had no beef prior to any of this. You're complaining about something that me and Sheree had going on that we're not even beefing about right now. And you made that into a thing because you want her yourself a little storyline. So yeah, I'm gonna laugh about it and I'm gonna laugh it off and I'm not gonna give you your moment. And I am gonna talk over you. And yes, if that's gaslighting, all right, bitch, I'm gonna gaslight the hell out you because we're not about to do this. And that's just how I feel. She should have just took that to Drew in private. And I think that her trying to embarrass her in front of the girls, especially given that like, okay, her and Sheree had a falling out. Her and Kenya don't really get along like that. Why would you even try to bring that up if me and you were trying to build a friendship or whatever the case may be? You could have just said that to me, like, girl. And that's what friends do. Real friends check each other in private, but in public, we with all that shit, regardless if my friend wrong or not. And that's just how I feel.
And that same sentiment, that's why I was saying, like, earlier in the live before y'all had joined on, I was like, that it's kind of getting played out because, like, that's what I was saying. It's like, it's a constant thing. There's a difference between having a rapport and being friends.
Yeah.
And these, like, they obviously were not friends. So,
Right.
like, the lines become blurred when one person is steady yelling, friend, 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 friend. And then the other person is like, we're building a friendship.
But that's the thing. How are we going to build a good friendship if, one, you're trying to check me in front of other people? That's being a bad friend or bad, whatever the case may be on your end, because now you're trying to check telling me, oh, I can't even deal with you really because, of what you did to Sheree, trying to side with Sheree in front of, like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
But there's like, all right, that's just like,
you ain't called Sheree to come pick you up after an accident.
We've been friends for years. So, like, we move different. But I don't understand, like, how, like, she's expecting so much only off of 3 encounters. Like, you guys.
It's not so much, though, because I feel like
they're associates. They're not friends.
But I don't think that's expected.
Like, yeah,
so you think that somebody asking to be addressed in private is asking a lot when we're trying to build, because the same way you questioned my character for how I dealt with Sheree, I'm going to question your character for how you're dealing with this situation.
I just feel like, well, mainly because I'm a little bit different because I go off vibe. So if I don't vibe with you the first time, it probably won't ever happen again. That's just me personally. But I feel like,
I said that's me too.
I just feel like that when it comes to certain stuff, and especially in scenarios like these when you're building a rapport with people, let people know how you move.
Yeah.
So therefore, when situations like this happens, it won't come to something like this. So just like how Drew was steady voicing like, if you felt like you should have done this privately, then guess what? Hey, da-da-da-da. I like how you did that. Like, moving forward, this is how, like, this stuff should be going if we're building a friendship. If not, based off this first encounter that you guys had together, get it. Like, girl, like, it was a cute little run. Like, how you move is not how I rock. And I'm just going to let this lay where it lays at. Mm-hmm. But the whole, like, this, and then, oh, you invited me to that thing too, when she told you about it, or the whole, like, if we're friends and we're doing this, but you're doing the same thing as the get back, it's like, to me, they're gonna. I feel like if they don't settle this, they're gonna always have like a Charlie and Jocelyn friendship.
Yeah, I just want this beef to be over. I feel like it's stupid.
Yeah, we're 3 episodes into it. At this point, like, if you guys ain't gonna like have a conversation about it or whatever the case may be, and just let it go.
Yeah, because it's not. They're like, it ain't.
Sanya needs to be beefing with whichever one said that she got like 15 people living in her house.
Exactly.
That's the one she needs to be beefing with.
I'm not like,
Marlo said that.
Her beef.
Oh, well,
and that's who she need to go beef with, because Drew ain't say nothing bad about her.
Yep, and that's exactly who she need to
like,
beef with.
Drew was having beef with Sheree. How you gonna get mad at me because you don't like how I deal with somebody I'm having beef with?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? I don't know. Everything this season is too played out. Like, I need new. I don't know. I'm very disappointed with this season.
Stuff is definitely going to pick up. It's just going to pick up in different ways, shape, forms, and fashions. Like, Sanya and Drew are always going to be, because just like how we've seen in the trailer, like, Sanya was sitting right there with Sheree, and Drew was throwing dog biscuits at her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the stuff is going to play out the way that it's going to play out.
Yeah.
But at this point, I just feel like we don't need to talk about this no more. Like, Drew, girl, you got uninvited to 2 events. We get it. Like,
when you have your event, just don't invite her.
Yeah, or invite her and uninvite her. Do what everybody else did. Do what Quad did.
Yeah.
Make her come and then reimburse her for gas.
Mm-hmm.
Or do it, or do something like Saucy Santana did and have her face on a flyer and say, "Do not enter." Do not allow in. Like
something
that's
other
going
than
to be
bickering
iconic.
and bantering about it.
Yeah, something that's going to give you icon status outside of just inviting her and then sending a text message saying that I'm going to invite you.
Yeah.
But the last audio. The last audio that we have is something sweet. I'm not a big fan of Marlo. Well, I really don't like Marlo at all. But let's just go ahead and talk about the little mental health segment. I ain't got no picture of Marlo. I mean, I got a picture of Marlo, but I ain't got no single picture of Marlo. But Marlo and her sister, because that whole thing with her and her sister really had
yeah, it was sad.
Yeah, it hurt me. Like,
what happened? Well, I didn't see that part. What happened with her sister?
I'm gonna play the girl. If you would let me get the audio up.
Okay, because y'all talking about it. I'm like, what's going on? Maybe Marlo can win my heart back. What's going on?
I felt for her in that moment. I definitely
did.
And
I did. Too.
Hi, Lizzie. When my sister gets on the phone, I can just tell she wasn't herself. She's immediately cursing at me, yelling, and blaming me for putting her there. The guard said she wouldn't even come back to the phone. She picked up a chair and threw it at the monitor.
Can you call them back? Can you call please?
My sister needs inpatient, and that's exactly what the judge is telling her. She won't do it. So that just was it. All right. I'll call you. I love you guys. I'm feeling that the future is going to be bright because I'm going to do whatever the best of my knowledge is to help them. I just pray that God is just right there with them every step of the way. Love you, all right? For the way.
Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. I told you to start touching my purse. Let me see your mouth. Open your mouth.
I feel so bad. I felt like this had me, like, as much as I don't like Marlo at the moment right now, because that can always change. I felt so sad for her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was like really sad to see somebody go through, especially like with real life and like how serious mental health is.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like,
So what was going on with her sister? She said her sister. I couldn't really hear the part. She said the
her
judge.
sister's incarcerated.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess like I don't really know like necessarily where her sister got put in jail for.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think she touched bases on it last season, but it really wasn't like too in depth on it.
Mm-hmm.
But her sister is incarcerated, so she is taking care of her kids or whatever. But Marlo basically had they basically had a schedule, called like JPay or whatever. And she said that when her sister picked up, basically her sister was blaming her. She was blaming Marlo for her being in jail. And it was like that she threw a chair at the TV. So basically they had stopped the video call. And she was like, her sister has mental health issues, so they're trying to get her put into
a mental institution, inpatient.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want, so that's why the kids were there. She brought the kids in the scene. She brought the two sons there to speak to the mom, just in hopes that like maybe talking to your kids would make you change your mind. Like it's like the sister would rather be free than be in a mental institution, but the judge isn't never gonna allow that. So she's choosing to really stay in prison instead of going to get the help that she needs, which in and of itself is a effect of the mental health issue that she has. Like, if she was in her right mind, she probably wouldn't have chose to stay in jail over inpatient help. So it's like it's hard when you deal with people who got drug addiction and mental health issues at the same time. It's like
a lot.
You can't force them. At the end of the day, you could plead, do as much as you want, and even sometimes the kids aren't enough to make them change and to make them choose the right way for themselves, which is sad. I felt for them for that, man. Prayers up to Marlo and her two nephews.
Yeah, and that sentiment. I don't want Carmen to come around and beat her ass having to deal with that.
Yeah. And I feel like maybe that's probably why she kind of got a little bit of hate toward Kandi, because when somebody doing so well and your life kind of not isn't doing so well, it's hard for you to be happy and celebratory of others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that is true, but like I just feel like I don't want to say Marlo was dealt a bad hand because her life is pretty good, minus the opposite and how she acts or whatever. But like like that sucks. Like I'm telling you, go ahead and get yourself together. I got the kids, but because it's that bad, I hope in the long run, like her and her sister, be able to can reconcile and forgive her.
Mm-hmm.
In the long run, when this stuff is when it's all said and done. But I really felt bad for her. As much as I don't like her this episode, like that scene really made me feel bad for her.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like you doing everything. Like your kids is good. You know, like your kids is good.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about anything.
They good until she run out of John Doe's.
You know, like your kids are good, like, but it's a lot harder when you're on mental health, and then especially with how the system and stuff is set up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, mental institution should have probably been the first thing that should have been implemented on her instead of, you know, Fulton County Prison or wherever she at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, how long she in there for? Like, is Marlo keeping the kids until like forever, or like?
No, not really. Marlo was basically like she was basically going to keep him until her sister get herself together.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Who knows how long that's going to take at like with the current station. But personally, like I feel like the best option is for Marlo to just have just like how she said, like they good. They're gonna always be good because they got her. I just think that she should just stick with that mindset until you know, like we know that until she knows like her sister is like fully capable because you don't even want to have a chance where you know like she gets herself there and then you send them and then she have like days where she might like snap out or she might not take her medicine and she might wig out or
Mm-hmm.
whatever the case may be. Like you never know when it comes to stuff like with mental health. So that was really it. But next, so we won't. That wraps up episode 7 for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So we'll catch you guys again next Tuesday. Well, actually, check us out on Monday with a pre-recorded live that'll be posted for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because we're vacationing.
Going camping.
So we're not going to have the time to do what we're supposed to do to give you guys the full TSL show effect. So after we get done from camping, we're going to have a pre-recorded live, hopefully posted on by Monday. And then catch us here Tuesday again at 8 o'clock for another Real Housewives of Atlanta review. And then that's just really about it. So,
as always, guys, keep it shady.
all right, y'all, we're about to be signing off. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Have a good night. Get some great rest and all that other good God gracious stuff.
And don't be a Marlo.
Yeah, don't be so special either.
Don't be a Sanya. Don't be a Sanya